But as he said to me, he said, Mo, at the time I didn't have no power and I didn't have no money. So when Oprah said she wanted it, so who played the lead?
Yet, as he told me, he expressed, Mo, at the time I didn't have no influence and I didn't have no cash. So when Oprah said she needed it, so who played the lead R in the Stewart Oprah Winfrey? That was Monique discussing all that she needed to endure on account of a portion of Hollywood's grays and allegation that has separated many fans, causing a furious discussion via virtual entertainment. Inquisitively, the great plant has it that web recording host Joe Rogan has evidently tossed his weight behind me. Monique, which has sent shockwaves all through media outlets. So what did Joe Rogan say? How can it influence media outlets and the people pulling the strings? Stay tuned. I'll fill you in regarding it. Devotees of Monique are humming with energy as their number one juster is visiting with Feline Williams and selling out shows anyway. Their fervor arrived at a breaking point while Tattle, making adjusts on the web, proposed that Joe Rogan was supposedly backing her. A considerable lot of her fans feel that this move is a confirmation that their object of worship had been coming clean from the start. Everything began when the digital broadcast have chosen to welcome Feline Williams to his digital recording after his meeting on the Club Shay. As per Rogan, he cherished Feline Williams and need to have him on his show, presumably to uncover every one of the ills happening in media outlets. I generally cherished Feline. I love Feline. So I don't realize he did a meeting he said I wouldn't have him on. I'm like, what are you referring to? I'll have you on. How about we go twice whenever at whatever point you need to stop by. Call me. Joe Rogan himself, a previous comic, has borne the brunt of the business when certain industry players took actions to get him dropped, very much like Monique and Feline Williams. Joe Rogan is known for not bowing to the foundation and has embraced an unrelenting demeanor towards talking reality, or what he accepts as reality. Last year, a couple of individuals detailed the famous podcaster to Spotify, guaranteeing that his web recording ought to be eliminated on the grounds that he utilized the nerd. In his reaction, Joe asserted that his naysayers had taken a portion of his old clasps outside any connection to the issue at hand and combined them to make a specific account. Their point was to paint him in a terrible light and get him booted off the Spotify stage. On one of his digital broadcast episodes, the UFC Ringside Observer said, "This is a political work. They're taking everything that I've had at any point said that is off base and smooshing it all together." He made sense of that. He utilized the words not in a bigoted way, as his fault finders and doubters are causing it to appear to be. As per him, he proactively apologized for a portion of the things that he said in the past, yet the unforgiving horde who could do without his governmental issues and perspective are still determined to even the score. The podcaster then had a few useful tidbits for people who were attempting to boycott him. It's not useful, like assuming you're investing all your time attempting to go after an individual, as opposed to attempting to better yourself. You won't work out quite as well. You're fooling around. That is the reason they're not fruitful. It's like it's in a real sense poison for yourself, he said inquisitively. That wasn't whenever sure displeased people first attempted to drop Joe Rogan in the consequence of the coronavirus pandemic. A few specialists blamed Ahmed, the UFC variety pundit, for misguiding people in general. Furnished with that data, a significant number of his doubters requested of Spotify to dismiss him from the stage. Yet the organization stayed with their generally paid attention to podcasters. So, however, this episode isn't about Joe Rogan. I added it for setting to provide you with a thought of how Pat Williams and Monique have languished over expressing their real thoughts in media outlets. Presently, given how individuals have required Rogan's head, it's justifiable he would uphold Monique Hicks for the difficulties she's encountering in media outlets. Very much like Joe Rogan, Monique got debased when she chose to oppose the low compensation and the abuse of dark craftsmen in Hollywood. In addition to the fact that she got torpedoed, yet the entertainer and humorist got lowballed on bargains that she got with telecom companies and streaming stages. Monique's will begun when she attacked the issue in earnest and chastised Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lee Daniels for boycotting her. As per the comic, Tyler Perry maintained that hers should complete a media visit to advance the 2009 film Valuable, a film for which Monique won Best Supporting Entertainer. Anyway, Monique denied, demanding that she need a break to enjoy with her family since she'd been away for a really long time. Regardless of whether she consented to do the promotion visit, the chief makers would need to pay for her closet cosmetics, hair, and transportation. Monique Who made sense of that? She had sufficiently forfeited to take a measly $50,000 for the job, so requesting that she penance her assets to advance the film would come down on her funds. As per Monique, Tyler Perry concurred with her, shook her hands, and said he comprehended her position. She guaranteed that later, the media entertainer called up Lee Daniels to grumble about her. He then, at that point, marked her challenging to work with, and ultimately Hollywood makers, chiefs, and projecting specialists began to keep away from her at all costs. She later asserted in a meeting with the Hollywood journalist that the head of Valuable, Lee Daniels, called her to tell her she was boycotted. When she asked everything, the explanation was the chief said to her better half was requesting an excess of "I got a call from Lee Daniels perhaps 6 or 7 months prior. And he told me, Monique, you've been renounced." And I said, "I've been torpedoed. Why have I been renounced?" And he said, "In light of the fact that you did play the game." And I said, "Well, what game is that?" And he gave me no reaction. The following point he made to me was, "Your better half is outbidding you." Yet he never asked me what pay we were requesting. You realize my better half demonstration? And maker Sydney Hicks, and I need to change things so we wouldn't need to rely upon others, so we do it freely. She proceeded with that. The business was brimming with individuals who needed to make the most of others, and on the off potential for success that at you had your ground. You were named as tasteless, a name that she bore on many times. She made sense of that. Whoever has marked her troublesome may have attempted to make the most of her, yet she held fast. Whoever those individuals are who say Monique is troublesome, those individuals are either cutthroat, heartless, or deal with individuals like they're useless, and that is unsuitable. They're set to say Monique is tactless. She's crude. She transferred the data to Oprah, who additionally concurred with her opinions, yet very much like Tyler, the television moderator, never really eased Monique's situation. Subsequently, Monique got down on Oprah openly for her supposed twofold principles, addressing why Oprah wouldn't freely back her anyway. One of her serious issues with Oprah originated from the way that the moderator talked with Monique's family without her agree. As per Monique, Oprah at first called her to tell her that her sibling needed to hit on her show to apologize to her for what he did. Our sibling needs to come on the show and he needs to apologize to you for moo, Oprah purportedly said, and he needs to advise others how to pay special attention to hunters. She finished up. Monique was reluctant, making sense of that. This was a sibling who say hair as a kid, so she believed nothing should do with him. By and by, Monique gave the go-ahead for the meeting that perhaps her sibling had improved exclusively to understand that Oprah had welcomed different individuals from her family, including her mom. As per Monique, she felt deceived by Oprah's signal as she guaranteed that it was just her sibling who was coming on the show. Monique jested. "You sold out me, sister," Monique said. "Had Oprah Winfrey said, 'I will have your mom on the show,' I would have said, 'Close that thought down.'" She asserted that her family once contacted Barbara Walters to show up on her syndicated program, yet she wouldn't have them since she was unable to do that to her companion. As per Barbara Walters, Monique had won the honor for Best Supporting Entertainer and was partaking in her second at the center of attention. Hence, she didn't think it was astute to carry her family to uncover the previous. It could take the sparkle and consideration from Monique's very first Oscars anyway. That wasn't the main